from the time I have been in care. And I'm not gonna lie, I was in care for a very long time. A very, very long time. So I asked them how much is in the account. They said it's £271 and something p. And I was like, after how many years I've been in care, and you're telling me you saved like a penny, 10p a year in my savings account. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like somebody's been in that account, dipping their toes in it and taking out money. Because, what? You know what, I should ask them, hi, has there been a withdrawal? I should have asked them of that. Over the years, has there been a withdrawal of the account? Because I know I didn't agree to that. And I just thought to myself, like, how can someone be in care for so many years and you only save £70 for them? £70. 70. So they opened the account with 200 and then they were putting in 10p. £70, bro. Wandsworth Council is shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It is shit. Absolute shithole. Like, you know, they say, oh, we're gonna help you find a job, help you this, help you that. Like, I remember the only thing I was able to do was phlebotomy, yeah? I went there and I was like, oh, I can't afford to pay for the course. Can you help me do it? They refused to pay for the second half of the course. They were like, oh, it's rubbish. We can't pay for it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, but like, it's just 2 more days that I have to do. And I passed the course and then I've got my license. All I have to do is volunteer work. And then I could have been a phlebotomist for like a duration of time. And they pay good money. I was like 18 at the time. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. And my social worker goes to me, or my support worker goes to me, oh no, we're not going to pay for the other ones. We don't think it's legitimate, blah, blah, blah. It says NHS on it. Someone can't fake NHS. You just can't. Like, they give you volunteer work with NHS after you pass your course. And I just thought to myself, what a bitch. What an absolute bitch. What an absolute bitch. But obviously, if you're violent to them, they see that as, oh, she was violent to her worker, blah, blah, blah. So you just turn your blind eye to them and say, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Because if you think about it, if you just done the other half, like, growing up in foster care, unless you have a full-time job, and at that time, I didn't have a full-time job. I was still studying. Jobs don't like to hire you if you haven't had experience. I only had Winter Wonderland on my CV. And, yeah, that wasn't enough at that time. Because I was like 18 at the time. That wasn't enough at the time. So then I got a job on my own. And I did it on my own. Like, I was like, oh, can you help me do this? Da, 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 da. They were like, no. So I must have said to them, oh, okay, cool. Can you find a course for me? I just want to get a license. Again, anytime let's talk about license at the age of 16 to 21, I'm going to them because you're meant to be able to pay for my education if I want to do something in life. Yeah, that's what you're getting 2 million a fucking month to do. Or was it 2 million a year? I can't even remember. No, but their budget was stripped of £2 million. So they were like, oh, we're not gonna give out the 5790, you know, when you're under 18, we're not gonna give that out anymore. You know, if you're past a certain age, you've got to go to universal credit, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, like, how is a 16-year-old meant to fend for themselves if they're living independently? What do you mean? They're like, oh, we can give you vouchers, or you could go to the food bank. And then you go to the food bank, yeah, and the food bank, I'm not gonna lie, food banks can help you for 3 days, yeah? Unless you have children, they give you more food. But if you're a single person, the food there could last you about 3-4 days max. It's not a lie, because they give you about, I don't know, 10 tins or so, and then they don't, obviously they don't give you meat, etc. So yeah, they give you like biscuits or snacks or something like that. But still, my point is, what do you mean you can't help young adults that have been in care their whole entire life, and you won't help them properly? You're just gonna say to them, oh, we can only give you this set of money if you're under this age. If not, go to the food bank. We can't help you anymore. Da 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 da. Like, I've always been working. Anything to do with my education, I found on my own. Anything to do with my jobs, I found on my own. Anything to do with any of that, work, education, that was all me. They didn't help you do shit. I used to go to the person, I think his name was certain of another, yeah? And I used to go to him and I'd be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then he'll be like, oh, you need certain credits to go, you need to do this, to do that. And I was like, oh, I have this, I have that. He's like, yeah, you can apply for a loan. I looked at him like, hold on a minute. Didn't you guys say you'd pay for my education? If I choose to go to uni, you'd pay for it. Now you're trying to put me in debt. What? What? Now you're trying to put me in debt? Nah, I was like, they're taking the mick. Absolute mick. So, it's actually ridiculous. Like, my support worker didn't really help me do shit. She would just say tutu stuff, and then she'll just put you into like housing or this. Like, she doesn't really care. She's just doing her job, mark it off, and then go back to do what she got to do to provide for her children. Like, and I get that, you're doing your job. But, like, I think in those types of jobs, you have to, like, really fucking care for young people. Not just pawn them off and not give a two-fly fuck. I remember meeting a person, she was also their support worker, and we ended up talking, and we kind of agreed on the fact that she doesn't help us, really. She just, like, does the daily meetings that she's meant to, and then fucks off. Because I remember she must have, like, she just fucked off. She didn't tell me nothing. She said, oh, she left or something like that. And I was just like, okay. And then I ended up getting a new support worker, and I was just confused, like, wait, what happened? I was told she left, but in actual fact, she didn't leave. She was still there. And that was just like, that's kind of weird. What support worker actually just fucks off after being your support worker for years? But I'm not going to lie to you. The new support worker I had, she did more than the support worker I had in the 5 years. Like, she was sick. She was like, oh, I've moved on to new endeavours. Like, she's gone to, I can't even remember what she said. She's like going to be a nurse or a midwife or something on the lines of that. I don't even remember too tough. And I was like, oh, well done. Da, 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 good on you. Like, she was a really nice person. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how she was able to help people get support, but she was really good, to be honest with you. With the 1 year she was in my life, she was actually really good. And the other one, she was like not that good after 5 years. It's pretty shitty to say, right? But it's the truth. Like, it never helped me to get a job, never helped me with education, never helped me. The only thing I could actually go there for was when I was like 16, or when I was just like 19, and I was like on the verge of being broke. But because I had worked before, I couldn't be entitled to universal credit. They wouldn't give me anything because you've worked a certain amount of money and they're gonna, hit HMRC. And then I lived in a flat that was like £500, so £500 plus 230 or £40 it was, or 60 or something like that it was back then. They were just like, I think it was like 250. Yeah, I think it was 250 because I used to buy like an ounce of weed, pay £10 electricity, £22 for gas, and then the rest I used to use it for travel till I get a job or something like that. I'm not even joking with you. I'm being so serious. Like, I'm being so serious. But still, they haven't actually helped in your life. Like, after you go past the ages, 16, they no longer have to house you. That's too tough. They could put you on the housing association list, or put you in council housing, say you're homeless, etc., until you're 18. Yeah, so 16 to 18, they have to house you regardless, and they can house you anywhere. But sometimes you get shit social workers, and they will house you in the shittiest of places, like so shit of a place. Like, they housed me in this place called Bridge or Bright House or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah, can you believe people are breaking into that house? Like, somebody's dashed a brick into the bottom window to get in the room, unlock the doors, and bang on everybody's doors. Are you dumb? The room that I had was like the size of a box, and I was like, this is dead. This is ridiculous. This is so dead. Like, why should I have to pay £1,000 almost to live here a month? Why should I have to do that? It is a shitty little box room. Why am I giving you my money? Like, I'm working, and then you want me to do that? And I just thought to myself, nah, this is taking a piss. So I ended up getting kicked out of that property because I was like to them, you didn't send me a card, which they didn't. They didn't send me a payment card. And on top of it, I was like, I'm not paying that. What for? What for? Oh, that's ridiculous. Like, people are breaking into the house. The whole house smells like damp. So you know what I mean by damp? Crack blood. Got them whipping up in that show. No, when I was there, that's how it was. And I was like, that's dead. Yeah, but 2-2 just now, I was shotting myself, so I couldn't really complain. But still, the clothes smell damp. That's not for me. That's not for me. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was so dead there. I remember somebody tried to crack open to my safe. They must have stole the key, because I must have hid the key somewhere. And they found the key and they fucking took some weed out of my safe. And I was like, these motherfuckers taking the piss. They were like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pay you back for it, blah, blah, blah. These niggas were broke. This is why I never used to tip people after I met a person like that. Like, beforehand, I used to tip people, innit? I didn't mind because I always got the money back and I always had weed at the time. So I didn't mind, yeah? But after meeting certain bummy low-life motherfuckers who are just like, I'm going to take your weed, but I'm not going to give you anything. You went out and bought out this weed, and then you're not going to help me with nothing. It's pretty shitty, don't you think? So, yeah. And then on top of it, I used to buy my weed off of this guy. But the weed was dank. I'm not going to lie. He used to give me like lemon haze, AK, amnesia, some nice cheese. Like, this guy was coming with flavours. These were flavours times when flavours weren't even about. Do you understand it? It wasn't that little, that little dead, heavy, dense bud. But, and you're looking at it like, how the fuck is this an ounce? You're looking at the whole thing like, what's this? Nah. Yeah, so any person who used to send me that dead weed, I'd be like, fuck off. Because the moment you burn it, it's like, it just tastes synthetic. Like, there's so much chemicals in it. But the weed that I used to get from, but it used to bump me. You know, you're meant to pay like a certain amount for it, yeah? It used to bump me like £20. It used to bump me like £20 or £10, etc. for the weed. And I used to be like, oh, this guy's an arsehole. So I used to go certain place and half it and get double my money. And then go back to him, buy the same amount of money, half it, double my money. But I had a stage where I was like, oh, I've got to take care of my body, my hair, I've got to wash my hair, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Remember, I got a sale and I must have said, oh, it's going to take me like an hour to get to you. Because I wanted to have the shower, even though I was like 10 minutes away. She just told him, yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Yeah, if you're a feminine person and that's the lifestyle you're trying to live, you're going to collide. You're going to collide. So anyway, I ended up getting like a legitimate job and I didn't mind. I was able to study, work at the same time as I'm studying because I ain't got to do jack shite whilst I'm working and just study away. Like, you sit there, study, met her, it was pretty decent. And then I got pregnant because I was studying towards law. But hey, it is what it is. So apparently this, yeah, I think I dived too much into my past. But apparently I can take ownership of this account and I'm just going to invest it. I'm not even going to touch it. £270. I'm just going to invest it into shares. Stocks and shares. I'm going to call him. Oh, I don't know if I can do it with this one. I should have asked him this question. I didn't ask. I didn't ask how much it was in there. Just absolutely nothing. So I feel like just, yeah. It's absolutely nothing. £270. Huh? That's my whole gas. That's my whole gas. That's my whole gas a month, blood. What? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. And then when you go in debt with gas. Do you know what, yeah? Somebody told me the other day you're meant to get like £66 on your meters. I'm only getting it on my electricity. I'm not getting it on my gas. Because my gas is constantly running out. So I don't know what that's about. I think I'm going to call them now, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this savings account that they opened for me from a child, a junior account, a child as in from the ages I was in care is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. £70. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. From the time I've been in care, 14 years, blood. 14 years. 14 years. And let's not count the additional 7 years from the ages of 18 to 25. Let's not count that. Let's not count that. Because technically, I was a care leaver for 7 years. But additional 7 years. That's like £10 a year. £10 a year. £10 a year. £10 a year. And you know something I don't understand about that, yeah? In my bank account, when I was like, I lived in this flat, yeah? and you're meant to get £57 or £56 something. I only used to get £51 because they told me £5 goes into my savings account. That's £5 a week for 52 weeks, blood. Times 3 years. Have you lied to me? Have they lied to me? I think they lied to me, blood. Honestly, I think they lied to me. Because I've not received that money. I've not spent that money. There was one savings account that I had, and it was for £500. But I got that before I even went into that place where you get the £57 something, and then £5 goes into your savings, etc. You know, I think I might call them. Because if you think about it, technically that's my money. And I haven't received it. I've only received £500 from when I was 15, and one of my carers gave me the money and was like, here, this is your savings account, this is your checking account. And I was like, okay, I might as well just spend this. It's £500. Me and my friends went out, got some alcohol, got drunk. It was done. That was the money done, because I was the supplier. Obviously, half of it went on something else, but still, I was the supplier. Money done. Boy, man, I tell you, they're setting you up for failure. No savings, no investments, no correct teaching. Can you believe their words to me when I got out of care and had my child was, we don't think you're going to be a good parent because you haven't had a parent by your side. So why the fuck you put me in the people them houses? Why the fuck did you put me in with those peoples if you knew they couldn't teach me the values of a parent? Be realistic with me. Why did you put me in that home? Why did you do it then? Why did you move me from that home to this home if you don't think I could have been a parent because they didn't teach me good values? Those were their words. And I just thought to myself, they were like, oh, you grew up in foster care, so we don't think you can be a parent, blah, blah, blah. How the fuck do you use your own services against me? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, I'm gonna call 2 people and ask them about it. I'm gonna ask them now.